One of the most tragic moments in the books was made even more so in The Wheel of Time Season 3, Episode 6. One of the 13 Forsaken in the Wheel of Time books, Samael, launched a surprise attack, interrupting Rand al'Thor's breakup with Egwene al'Vere. Despite Rand's victory, Alcera, a young Ael child and Ruark's granddaughter, died as a result of his amazing use of the One Power. Although the scene in which Rand fights, and possibly kills, Samael in the Ael Waste and unintentionally kills Alcera in the process did not occur in Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time books. It was a tribute to a significant point in Rand's character development that took place in The Shadow Rising, the book to which Season 3 is adapting. This scene was one of many that were anticipated to make it into Prime Video's version of the story, but it was unclear if it could capture the emotion of the original. An incident that happened early in The Shadow Rising, before Rand decided to venture into the Ael Waste, served as the inspiration for what happened to Alcera. At the Stone of Tyr, which Rand had taken at the end of The Dragon Reborn, he was attacked by two distinct groups of Shadowspawn, sent by Samael and Semirhage, respectively, and in order to fight them, Rand uses Kalendor to channel a tremendous amount of the One Power and sets off a powerful lightning storm, during which he discovers the body of a young Tyran girl. Even though she wasn't slain by his use of the One Power, Rand felt accountable for what had happened. He believed that he should have left the Stone of Tyr sooner and that he should have taken action earlier in the war. Driven by remorse, he attempted to save her, mistakenly thinking that the extra strength Kalendor had given him would allow him to resurrect the dead. However, Rand persisted, channeling weaves of the One Power into the child's corpse despite Moraine's warning that his efforts were futile. After a few moments, Rand painfully acknowledged that he could not perform the Dragon Reborn, gave up, and wept over the dead girl. The Wheel of Time retained its most essential components while making some significant adjustments to this specific scene from The Shadow Rising. The underlying feelings it is intended to portray flow well from the paper to the screen, even if it doesn't take place at the Stone of Tyr or involve Kalendor in any way. Rand has grounds for feeling somewhat accountable for the disaster in both scenarios. However, because it doesn't sugarcoat the possibility that Rand killed her, the show's version gives Rand an even bigger gut punch. While the book character regretted himself for not stopping the attack, Rand actually toppled the building that murdered her. Whether Rand's lightning storm or something else killed her was never established. Sadly, the reasons of Alcera's death are far less murky, and therefore her fate presents a very stark reminder to Rand of the huge cost that comes with employing the masculine half of the One Power. The familiarity of the person Rand was attempting to save is even worse for Rand and the audience. The Shadow Rising never identified the child Rand was attempting to resurrect, because she was never a character in the story. Instead, the show adopted a very different tack, presenting Alcera as Ruark's granddaughter and someone Rand actually interacts with. The seriousness with which she treated Ael honor and her interactions with Rand instantly made her likable, and giving the deceased child a face and personality contributed to the scene's effectiveness. In a way that was never truly present in The Shadow Rising, the fact that this occurred with a person Rand knew and liked made it extremely personal. This approach made it easier to empathize with Rand's feelings of shock upon realizing what has happened, his heartbreak upon realizing that it cannot be undone, and his overwhelming guilt at the moment. The Wheel of Time ran the risk of leaving out a number of moments from the source material by omitting Rand's journey to Tyr in The Dragon Reborn, since Season 3 hasn't included Rand's interactions with Berelain or Perrin's laborious search for Rand. However, even though Season 3 didn't start with the Stone of Tyr, it was expected that the resurrection scene would be incorporated into the story, because it's a crucial step in Rand's journey to discover who he is and who he must become. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.